Hello everyone, this is Men's here. I'm going to be doing a few commentary battles, hopefully in a row. I'm going to be doing this live. I'm not going to be re-recording my voice over replays and then smashing it all together. So at times it might be a little bit difficult for me to talk and play since it does get a little bit hectic. So I'm going to start out with the FV215b, which is a somewhat new tank. Since they changed it, it does have a good amount of armor on the front, except for that lower plate. I don't want to talk about that. That's pretty bad for a tier 10 heavy to have 76mm armor down there. But it still retains a good amount of firepower, albeit not as much as it used to have with its insane over 4,000 DPM. So I'm gonna try to do a pretty hard push over here. I don't like to sit here too long because you basically give the enemy that whole 1-2 corridor and it's a pretty good defensive spot.
Right through their armor. That's gotta hurt. Ricochet. We've just dinged him. The commander is knocked out.
The problem with this is I can't move up close enough because then my lower plate will be exposed and I don't have the gun depression to hide.
Optics destroyed. That's gotta hurt. Optics repaired. We've hit them hard.
Yeah, thanks for those near 500 damage rolls.
That one bounced. It bounced off. Ricochet. They're hit. He's gone. Find another target. Looks like that one went right through. Looks like that one went right through. They're knocked out. Enemy is hit. Enemy is hit.
Nice ram job. So that worked out a little bit better than what it initially looked out to be. Guess I should repair that since I'm in the front now.
fire. Looks like that one went right through. I don't see the target. That's gotta hurt. Enemy vehicle destroyed.
You have to love that accuracy in the rate of fire on this thing. It definitely makes it easy to play. I probably should have took that shot. Figured someone would take it. Oh, pretty good game. Got Confederate Sniper, 3400 experience doubled. Top XP, which is not too bad. And it looks, yeah, I still made a profit. Did 5100 damage and spotted for additional 1392. So the next tank I'm going to play is the IS-7 to change the playstyle up a little bit. This is pretty much the opposite of the FV215b. It still has the great turret armor of the FV and the really good upper hull armor, but it shares the lower hull weak spot in the front. And it has good sides compared to the FV. Has basically a mid turret, but the main difference is it has a high alpha gun, unlike the FV. And to put it lightly, its soft stats suck. And when I refer to soft stats, I mean stuff like on the move accuracy, ground resistance, all that crap, which basically American tanks are really good at, and British are pretty good at too, but when it comes to the IS-7, all those are basically thrown out the window. Not saying that IS-7 isn't a good tank, but playing it with the bad ground resistance, the crappy on the move accuracy, and other small factors like gun depression and stuff, it does make it a bit of a pain to play at times. So that's why it's not exactly my favorite tier 10 heavy tank to play. But it does give a good contrast, as you can see. Like the FV, the last match, I was just driving around, small aim circle, just shooting stuff on the move, and go over to this thing and you won't be able to do that at all.
One of our tracks is damaged.
I always do a little stop if I'm coming out of cover, if I know already saw me, since they got that first hit in. Okay, this guy's in my usual spot. Yeah, it looks like they lit up while they're arty. And it's always nice to have good scouts on your team like that. Not that it makes us automatically going to win, but it definitely does give us a bit of an advantage now. So the E5 left that spot, which probably shouldn't have. Crap, I wanted to track him so Artie could get him. If he's gonna give me that free shot, I'll take it. I thought he'd aim at me. Okay, so that IS-7 push. Basically, you just shoot right under that little bud flap there in the front wheel, and he'll do damage. You're hitting only 80 millimeters of armor behind that track.
We nailed it bad.
Okay, is this guy still just gonna do that?
Bounce stop.
And of course there was that little thing right there. I hate those things when they don't work for me. Angle a little bit too much there. You definitely do not want to do that in E4 where you have low side arm.
He's gone. Find another target. Looks like that one went right through.
Ah, crap, just clipped. Ah, 1/2 more second I would have had that. I don't know what our mediums are doing. You should leave one on cap. Guys, you should leave one on cap to at least pressure them. That IS-7 needs help. Hopefully he does so. Come on guys, he gets shot. Frickin' push right into him. Why are they all frickin' sitting there? He shot the frickin' M46, like, even though he's reloaded now, but you should have pushed on him already. Okay, he just shot. He's not gonna shoot you. You should just push into him. Hesitation like that can come back to bite you. Basically, if you see a tank like the Jaeger 100 shoot, it takes off 1k HP, and it sucks, but it's gonna reload for over 20 seconds. So you might as well push into him, use your better DPM and rate of fire to take him out before you let him reload again. But overall, they did a good job in taking us south pretty quickly, and even though I probably would have left one medium on the base, it's still a good job. We got the win. And somehow that IS-7 still has 100% HP. Overall, not too bad for experience. Got sniper and did 3,500 damage, which isn't bad. It's actually pretty good, especially for IS-7. So the next tank I'm going to play is the Bat-Chat. Definitely a difference between playing heavies and going right to something like this. I'll admit, I'm not very good at the Bat-Chat because I play a little bit too aggressive for an autoloader. I usually get in a bad spot and I'm not able to run away from it. Basically, in the Bat-Chat gameplay, you can scout a little bit, even though you shouldn't go into matches expecting to be like a primary scout, but you want to get in the spots where you can support, basically rush into places and use your good drum damage in the beginning to take out 1 or 2 tanks and get your ass out of there and run away. Basically, you don't want to be in spots that if you go into, you're going to be stuck, because if anything pushes on you, like 2 or 3 tanks, you're basically done for. And a small note is to watch out for E50s and ramming you, which a lot of people like to do, since you could basically one ram Bat-Chat with the E50. Okay, hopefully they get that arty.
Penetration. Enemy is hit. They got the commander. Gotcha.
Okay, so that sucks, but at least it didn't blow up my ammo rack. You always gotta look on the bright side. So I'm just gonna chill out here until I see where they're exactly going. It looks like they let a Patton right into the base, so I guess I'm gonna have to go get him. It's gonna be a little dangerous getting through here without dying, but I don't know how that M46 got by all of them without anyone realizing it a little bit quicker. Of course, a Bat-Chat 155. He can, if I get spotted, he's probably gonna aim at me next.
We nailed it bad.
Does not look like our north's doing good. Doesn't look like our south's doing good either. I have really, really low HP, so... fuck it, I'm gonna try to go help the north. Hopefully they do not see me.
Vehicle
And
destroyed.
of course they saw me. I don't have 6th sense on this thing. Or camo, or any of that stuff. Well, at least I had a half-second warning of a shell coming right towards me before I blew up. See, it's one thing to go down like the one line like these people did, but as you can see, they all pushed down the one line, but they weren't able to spot that M46 going right into the base. So what's the point of pushing all the way down there when you basically leave a gigantic gaping hole in the line and are already died, and it took the ST1 and myself back from the fight to kill that one medium tank. It's like a lot of people, they think the one line's important, but you only send like 1 or 2 tanks down there in public matches, and the rest you can position in like H4 alongside the town, which gives you better RD cover since You're not relying on a dune, which you may or may not have the gun depression to shoot over, but you have a few buildings. Yeah, they're destructible, but there's enough there that you can reposition yourself, so if one gets blown up, you just move to the next one. And by doing that, you basically create a good spot to shoot from H4 and J1 for the couple tanks down there, so anyone moving through like J4 can't really push too far west, and if they push into town, then they're shot from the side either way. Either way, not a very good match. This is why the Bat-Chat, I don't prefer playing it in public matches, because you're limited to more of a support. Yeah, you can do that tons of damage in the first drum, but after that you can't really hold a spot against opposing force, because they'll just push on you and kill you before you reload. Either way, next tank I'm gonna play is probably the T110E3. E3, I really like it. It's it's pretty much the only tier 10 tank destroyer I own. It's much improved over the T95, even though it does have a couple small weak spots on the lower hull near the tracks. Unlike the T95, it actually has the mobility to get places. Even though it's not fast by any means still, it's fast enough to where you're not a hindrance to your team on some of the larger maps. And unlike a lot of people who play the E3, I play it a bit more aggressively and try to go to different spots rather than the typical like campy spots in the back sniping. It's because even though you have a ton of armor, you're slow, and you have a gun, your gun doesn't have enough accuracy to actually snipe per se and sit in the back. And what's all that use of the armor to your team if you're sitting in the back not taking shots? You should be putting yourself out there and taking the shots for your team. Once again, people overreact, and now we're gonna have 4 tanks down here. I really wanted to go up north, but I don't want them to continually freak out. Oh my god, there's only a couple tanks here. Sure, but if you position yourself on this corner, you can hold this corner against a greater number of attackers. The most important of this spot on the map, which we don't have anyone at, is E3, which allows them to look right into the base and shoot any defense we have down here too. Instead, we have a useless tank up on the hill, which is nice and all if you're like a scout or something, but in a medium tank, yeah, you're useless, buddy. You're not going to do much of any good up there. See, this is exactly what I did not want to get into, but sometimes your team does not leave you a choice. We really want to push here, but we don't have the E3 spot, so you can't really push. So if I go around that corner, I'll either be artied or flanked from the left. But, fuck it. I need to do something here. course they have a TD right there, ready to blast me.
It could break any
Or
minute.
Artie, or whatever the hell that was.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
Okay, so now we have the trouble of the mediums here. He's gonna try to come around and flank me.
They're hit. We've had it. Let's get out
And
of
not
here.
too surprised at that. At the very least, I cleared out those 2 tanks, so the low can keep pushing. Okay, so there is down to 2 tanks and a bunch of arty, and we have the tank advantage, so hopefully this still goes well. Now it's down to that one TD that sat in G2, even though he did help kill me. And he's probably going to get a couple more kills here. It's still not great because all that firepower he had, it basically went somewhat useless because now he's the last one left, but he can't do anything. Oh my god, Artie. I hate fucking Artie players who say that. Oh my god, he's over the mountain, I can't hit him. Then fucking move your tank. Drive over somewhere else. You should have been driving over behind the enemy or our team as we pushed across the map. It's like playing Artie. Yeah, it's nice to be in the base, you're all nice and safe, but the more our team pushes across the map, the more you should move up behind your team so you get better angles on the enemy. Instead of sitting there complaining about, oh, this guy's behind a cliff, I can't hit him. Well, you should know that he's going to be behind a cliff if that's the only spot that's left. Either way, pretty decent game. I only got 2 kills, but at least they didn't push through the valley. I would have much preferred going up north and being annoying up there. If I had not pushed in an E3, like, many people hesitate and someone else might have sat on that corner at D2 too long, I would have had those 2 mediums drop down behind me in D3, and then there's those 2 tanks in front of me which basically would have stuck me in between them. I wouldn't be able to do anything. So not too great of a game. I did do 2300 damage, which is a bit low for a tier 10 TD. I usually shoot for 3500 in a TD only because the gun's so good. But overall, a decent couple battles I did, and I'm glad that if anyone did watch this entire video, thank you.